behind the commission structure of the product is that within 6 weeks, the average user will be able to redeem those points for a donation. So the cost is free for the consumer. As I said, it's back-end commission for the business. So, it really creates a win-win-win across, all the people that are participating. So Kabinger at its core is a social entrepreneurship model. It strikes a balance between profitability and social impact. And so you may be wondering, so how can you get involved with Kabinger? Our app is published now. It's available for download. We're looking for anyone that's interested in getting involved fundraising for your particular organizations. We're looking for any investors that may have an interest, and we're looking to expand our development team. Yes?
Is there payment processing within the app?
There's not. No.
Is that something in the future?
We have a very deep backlog of features. So what you're going to see when you download our app, if you'd like to, you can scan these. It'll take you right to the download pages. What you're going to see is an MVP, truly bare bones feature set. So we have a very long backlog that includes that sort of a feature where you can check out through the app.
And so the small commission is on top of whatever the merchant's payment processing fee is at this point, right?
Yes, it would be.
Whatever,
that's correct.
Whatever that is. So does that explain the 6 weeks for, you have to take all that money or points or whatever and kind of process it at your location? And
a big part of it is the fact that 90% of the commission gets paid out as points to the users. Most reward programs don't do that. So we really, we're not in it to make money. So we have other revenue streams in mind. For example, in the app, you'll see that you have an option to, rather than trade your points in for donations, you could trade in your points for product. And in that case, there will be a buy now option, and we're looking to go ahead and make a margin on the sale of those products. Yes?
I'm a consumer. I spend $1 in whatever store is participating. How much of that dollar do I get back from donating?
So it really depends on the commission that particular store is willing to pay for our service, and it is negotiable. But let's say hypothetically it was 10 cents that they're willing to give out in a commission. In that case, 9 cents out of the dollar would go back, because 90%, as I stated earlier, would go back into your point wallet.
So I don't know when I'm in that store how much of that.
Oh, you will know. So in the system, when you collect your points from that merchant, it will tell you exactly how many points you've collected at that time.
Before.
Correct. So there is a list that discloses the points that they give out. So yes, actually you could browse the list of promotions from different merchants, and it will tell you what they're willing to give out for your business. Yeah.
So you talked about how you have many consumers, many clients, many, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's really expensive to reach all those people. So what's your strategy to do that?
Activism, right? Everybody cares about something. So we're looking to get involved with people that truly believe in supporting local commerce, truly believe in supporting local organizations to help us build this product. So like I said, it's really a balance between a profit. So unlike a non-for-profit, we have a profit motive, but we're willing to give a large percentage of those commissions back to the community. So we're looking to work with the people of the community to build the base.
So just to build on that, what is your actual marketing strategy?
So right now, it's doing this, talking to people, introducing the product. In the long haul, we're looking to build this one community at a time. So right now we have a sales team that's focused on getting out there, talking to the local businesses, signing them up as sponsors into our product, and then bringing in the local community activism. Yes?
So what is the biggest sales tool here? I'm a little confused on that. So let's just say that there's a church down the street that, is giving away turkeys for Thanksgiving, right? Or doing food pantry, what have you. is that sales tool that you're trying to provide is for the community? I'm a little bit confused.
So let's say that you're a business that, maybe you are a member of the congregation and you own a business, maybe you own a pizza shop and you're already involved with that particular institution. You as a business decide, I want to join the Kabinger program and I want to go ahead and promote my business through a directory. In the app, there's a directory of offers. Now you are getting the attention of the local members of the app to those promotions that you're sponsoring. And in there, you can specifically say, hey, I want to support this church. I'd like to bring in members that are interested in supporting them as well. And the points would now go to that particular church.
So when you go out, and again, when you go to sell this to ABC Manufacturing or whoever that is, or what store or whatever that is, you want to tie them directly with the community, is that correct?
Yes,
So
exactly.
that is the biggest selling point.
Yes.
Am I-
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's about bringing local consumers back to the local businesses and then building that feedback loop that will build over time. Question?
Flying back on from what Sean was asking about payment processes and stuff, and maybe also another suggestion for the previous presenter. Is there any consideration for like Venmo or sort of social payment structure or systems rather than just sort of the commonality? Because it's definitely the way the future's sort of headed towards personal transactions, and I thought about after the case.
So can you restate the question more specifically?
So with the payment platforms and forms of payment, have you considered things like Venmo and an old version of like?
Actually, no, we have not. We have not, but it's definitely something. Part of my team is here. It's definitely something we
Just
like
if
to
you're in those
follow up.
early stages, definitely have that
Yeah.
as a consideration.
Yes.
So I downloaded the app and I'm looking at it. The rewards are kind of, it seems like they're just lumped together, whether it's a donation to a nonprofit or it's a fitness.
Yes, that's correct.
So presumably that'll be.
Yeah, like I said, this is very early stage MVP. We have a backlog which includes features that allow us to better organize the reward list so that it's easier to find, easier to search. But right now, it's just a basic list.
But what I noticed is it's done in such a way that when I want to donate to a nonprofit, so 200 points is a $20 donation to West Chase Elementary.
That's correct.
So the nonprofits also need to sign up to
That's
be a part of this?
Yes. And it's very basic. From that side, we qualify them. We set them up in the system. We identify where they want these donations to go to, and then we facilitate the exchange when the trade is made. One thing to note also, if you're in the app, you'll notice that the app has this unique feature where you actually declare your reward or the particular institution you want to support up front. And so as you're collecting points, it shows you your progress towards that donation or towards whatever the reward is you declared. And part of our backlog feature set is to include notifications that will motivate you to think about it, maybe on a weekly basis, to remind you, hey, you're working towards a donation. Here's an opportunity for you to go get points today, right? And close out your final point for the donation. Yes, sir.
I'm just thinking, I'm the consumer and I've declared X go to X.
Yes.
The merchant that I'm buying from has declared his or her to something else.
Yes.
So when I make a purchase, he's declaring X to his.
Well, we haven't built that restriction in yet. So today,
It's something a good idea.
it is an option. It's something we can do for sure.
I'm still confused as to who is directing the charity. Is it the consumer or is it the merchant who said, if you buy here, I'll give to this, or is it the consumer who builds up points and directs the merchants to
Right.
donate
So,
away?
Our current implementation, the consumer chooses. They choose which institutions they select from the list.
And then where does the money come from, the merchant?
It comes from the points that the consumer, yes, ultimately it's paid through a back-end commission on each purchase.
But what if clearly we got some disconnect in the country. What if the consumer's choice of a charity is one that the merchant is philosophically or religiously politically or politically opposed to.
And that's why we build the list with the local membership, right? So if there are local commerce that are not interested in a particular institution, they will have an option not to participate or to help, drive the list to the groups that they're interested in supporting. And I'm not saying that it won't be challenging, but, it's something that we'll have to work with.
Have you thought about a tax, I'm sorry, verification of this? Is there some evidence from the consumer that they've made a donation? Is there an income aspect to the commissions that they're getting here?
Yeah, those are great questions. We've very shallow looked into that. We know that there are some tax implications.
It would be for the merchant.
No.
No,
You're not spending any extra.
You're getting somewhat of a commission. If you're a consumer, you're buying a pizza for $10, but you're also getting on top of that.
you're gonna-
Yeah, but you're not, the consumer, you're only spending the $10 regardless of whether or not you use this. It's the store that pays the extra.
It's just,
Does
I'm not
the store
sure.
get the
I'm not
credit,
sure about
the
that.
tax credit? As opposed to the consumer?
Well, I mean, from the store perspective, we're charging them for a fee for their service, right? So it's gonna go on their books just like any other fee for a service. For, on a monthly basis or whatever the repetition rate is for billing. Yes, sir.
I'm not too late because I stayed up too late last night. So if I'm understanding this, you take this community, some community, and you talk to the merchants, say merchants association, and then you also talk to, say, nonprofits or whatever in that community. You set up a list based on those nonprofits. The merchants buy into it, and that's really the process. So when they go in, the customer would select which of those nonprofits to go to, maybe more than one, and then the process just flows. And the points are redeemed back to the nonprofit in money?
Yeah, they get a check. So each time that once the consumer collects enough points for a particular donation, so right now in the sample list we have in there, they're I think they're $25. Are they, Tom? 20 or $25, right? Once they have enough points, I think it's 200 points, they click the button, that triggers us to debit their point account, and we send the check to that institution. Yes.
So to his point, the points belong to the consumer, not
Yes.
to the store.
Correct. Yes.
So again, your fees, you're charging a fee to the, or to the.
To the business.
The business, and then you're making also a 1% or.
10%.
10.
10% off of that fee. 90% of the fee gets paid out as points to the
Are you
consumer.
making anything on the points? So you get 10% back from XYZ company, right, that goes to me, and then I share it. Are you making anything on that as well, or just in the?
So in the example that I discussed earlier, if we charge 10 cents on the dollar, we make 1 cent.
Okay.
And that's one of our revenue streams. Another one is the product sale that I described earlier. So, and some people, we've been socializing this with other groups, and we've been asked, well, why don't you just keep it straight to just, nonprofits? Why are there rewards? And our thought is, why would we restrict people, right? Let them decide. Maybe this week they're feeling charitable and they want to make a donation. Maybe next week they want to get a gift for themselves or a loved one. So we provide that flexibility. It gives us another revenue stream.
Are you providing anything on the merchant side to motivate a consumer to buy?
Yes. So in one of the slides, I talked about the targeting. So through our system, we're going to be able to have very targeted promotions. For example, there may be an offer that says, if you come in on Wednesday, I'm going to give you double points, right? If you come in for this particular event and you bring 4 of your friends, we're going to give you, all of you, a certain number of points. So we're building that into the actual application. Yes, sir.
So your target market would actually be some community association or merchant association?
Yeah, that's the place to start. Yep. And build out.
So it's really a way to support buying local.
Exactly. Right. Yes?
So it's a 10% transaction fee? Or
It's
is that
negotiable. That's an example. It's negotiable. It depends on the market. There's some businesses that can afford a higher rate, and they may do it on they may have a limited promotion where they're willing to give out a much higher commission, to attract business. So we allow that to vary on a per promotion basis. Yes?
Can you talk to us a little bit more about your background and your team?
So my background, I started in aerospace. I was in the aerospace business for 17 years in engineering. I have a degree in computer science and engineering from USF. And currently I'm actually the VP of Operations and Engineering for Createch. And I lead this team, this Kabinger team as well. I have 2 active developers on our staff. One of them is more on the back end, one is doing the app development. We have a team member that's focused on sales, another team member that's focused on marketing and branding and social media, and then we have another team member that supports the entire staff.
So will you tie into the point system and reward system of Createch?
Could be, could be. We haven't discussed that yet. This is in very early development stages. We are actually working on developing a unique point system. We really can't disclose it. We're working on a patent write-up for it, but it's a feature that we have on our backlog that we want to integrate into the Kabinger model. Okay. Yes?
So what can we as a community do to help?
Yes, so we were interested in getting the kind of feedback that we got today. So anybody that feels compelled to talk further with us and share your ideas, thoughts about our product, we'd love to talk to you. We have some cards, I think, over there by the sign-up sheet, and I've got some cards that I'd love to share with any of you that are interested. We're looking to grow our development team. Specifically, we're looking for an experienced app developer. So if there's anyone that'd be interested in joining the team, we'd love to talk to you. And then, anyone that has a cause, something you care about, you want to get involved with us, want to help us develop this product, bring in those organizations into our, donation list, we'd love to talk to you about that as well. And certainly, if there's any investors that have an interest, right now we're self-funded from within our team, but if there's anyone that's interested, we do have a business plan that goes out for 12 months to fully deploy the product here in the Tampa Bay community. And so we'd love to talk to investors about getting involved there as well.
That was awesome. We had 2 awesome presentations today, 2 really cool companies that I think a lot of us in the room have the connections to help out. And that contact info will be out in your weekly emails. Carly, who is, as always, hiding behind the sign, is the one who puts those together. She puts together the room. She puts together a lot of stuff. But if you're not getting those emails, there is a sign-in sheet right by the door there. Let us know. We'll tell you who's coming up, who's presenting next week, who presented, how you get in contact with them. More info about the events we talk about in the middle, and just kind of everything you need to know about what goes on here. As always, please tell your friends. I see a ton of empty chairs today, understandably so. I suspect there are a lot of people who are fatigued this morning. As Marianne was just saying, the gym also empty this morning, which I also saw when I went to the gym. But next week, come out full force, bring all your friends, and if you know anybody who would be great up here explaining what they're building to our community, let them know. Have them head over to 1millioncups.com/St. Pete, request to present. We'd love to reach out and talk to them about being up here and sharing their story. Without further ado, please enjoy the rest of the coffee. Enjoy talking to each other. How's it going? Well, Amendment 2 passed, so that's something. Welcome to 1 Million Cups, guys. Thank you all for coming out. How many of you guys are here for the first time this morning? Never been to 1 Million Cups before? Nice. Welcome. For those of you who have been here, you know this, but for you newbies, This is a weekly event where 2 startups from our community come up here. They present for 6 minutes telling you what they're building. Then there's 20 minutes of Q&A for you guys from the audience. Ask questions, seek clarification on points. But importantly, think through your connections, who you know, what you know, and how you can help them grow here. We always ask what the community can do to help them. That is the startup's opportunity to be very specific and tell you what they're looking for. But there are other things out there, other people you know in your mental Rolodexes that they would appreciate the connections to. My name is Sean Kennedy. I'm an organizer here for 1 Million Cups, along with Marianne, Danielle, Chris Bennett, away on vacation in New Orleans today, and our organizer emeritus, JJ Roberts from the Tech Garage. Thank you, JJ. We appreciate it as always. In your hands is some delicious coffee from Kawa, our sponsor. They provide this for free every week. We certainly appreciate everything they've done, so much so that on non-Wednesday mornings we buy their coffee. So I encourage you all to do the same. So we have a couple awesome presentations this week. You probably recognize our first presenter, Torchfi, made up of people who have presented 2 different companies here before. Guys, come on up, tell us where you're at.
Hello everybody, I'm Anup, founder of Torchfi. As Sean mentioned, we are pitching here for the second time. Last time I was here, I was an international visitor talking about an idea and presenting a prototype. Today I'm here presenting a commercially live product and being a Tampa Bay startup now. Right? Thank you. So let's get on to the product. This is not the product, but I'm sure a lot of you must have had one of these boxes in life at some point of time in life. I grew up in India in 1980s where we had one of these, and every time we wanted to change the channel, we had to get up and go to the TV. My brother and I used to have furious fights during dinner of who will get up to go change the channel, right? Then suddenly came an amazing discovery, the remote control, that allowed you to change the channel from your seat. So today, if you think about it, you have a remote control for practically everything inside the house. But when you step outside the house, the situation is a little different. Consider going to the stadium to watch a game, or going to the movie theater, or even your day-to-day life of going to the cafeteria in your office, or the food court at the mall. Every time you want to place an order, you need to go and stand in one of these long lines. In case you're in a full-service restaurant, it's always a challenge to find a waiter during rush hours when you're just trying to call for your next drink or something, right? Surprisingly, there's no remote control for these situations. So we bring to you the Torchfi Wi-Fi waiter. This allows the customers to place an order from their seat through their mobile phones, but without downloading any app on the phone. Torchfi is a simple plug-and-play router. I have got one of these connected over here for a live demo, which converts a Wi-Fi access point into an interactive application, right? So the moment you connect onto the Wi-Fi access point, a login screen pops up, and this screen allows you to look through the complete menu, select the items, and place the order. You can also pay for the order online. As soon as the order is confirmed, a notification goes to the POS desk, and the bar or the kitchen could start processing the order. The moment they are ready to deliver, if it is a full-service restaurant, they could come and deliver it to you at the table. If not, they would just click on a deliver button, and we send a real-time text notification to the customer that the food is ready to be picked up. So this has overall helped improve the service, avoided the customer from going and standing in the line. But what it does for the restaurant is amazing. The moment you have placed an order through this system, your phone's profile gets recorded, and your ordering data gets recorded. And this way, every time the same customer comes back to the restaurant, we have this complete ordering history, and we are able to uniquely identify him in the crowd. So now we can use this data, like the online does, in terms of a recommendation engine, and start upselling. So this system can help these restaurants as a smart waiter to start upselling and increase their revenue. Another feature that we support on this thing is a loyalty card, where you do not have to carry a loyalty card or a physical punch card. and it can be digitally maintained over there in this phone. One more thing that we are doing for the restaurant is bringing a new revenue stream through digital marketing space, where they could give out the space to brands to run their specials, right? So, and this is something that happens at most of the bars that we have been to. So these are the new things that we are bringing in for the restaurant. Effectively, we have helped improve the service and bring in new revenue streams and improved revenue for the restaurant. How do we make money with the service? The Wi-Fi waiter service itself is available. We have just launched this thing and we have our first paying customer. But we have released this thing at a price point of $4.99, which is a one-time setup fee. And it's a basic SaaS model of $99 per month, right? But there is a much larger opportunity over here where Torchfi works as a digital engagement platform for any sort of brick and mortar business, and we can bring in this thing in a hyperlocal scenario. The opportunity is there to work with much larger players like airports, malls, retail chains and stuff, and we can help these real estates convert the real estate into a digital real estate. So what appears onto the consumer's phone when you connect onto the Wi-Fi is controlled by them, and this can lead to generating higher revenue in transactional model. So every upsell that they're able to do, we could generate, we could start charging them 5% or 10% of that kind of a thing, and that will lead to a much larger revenue opportunity. Market opportunity point of view, we have taken a very conservative number to start with. We are looking at only the top 100 restaurants and top 100 retail chains and the malls in the country. And looking at a very conservative price point also, we are coming down to, even that is leading to a $350 million market opportunity. But we haven't yet considered the market opportunity of working with larger players like stadiums, malls, airports, larger malls and stuff, right? So that effectively will be a much larger number. I have got one of these live demos running over here, where you can connect to this thing from your phone to the Torchfi Wi-Fi waiter and experience placing the order from your phone. Please try it out, and I'm happy to take some questions now.
How does the restaurant participate with you?
So how does the restaurant participate with me is fairly simple. They subscribe to the service and we come and plug in one of our devices into their restaurant. We set up the complete digital menu, and
you have to have these set up ahead of time before I can use my device.
It's a plug and play solution, but we basically build the digital menu for them. In fact, we have spoken to people who are already taking online orders, and we have integrated into that, so it makes it much faster. But it's a one-time setup. We are doing a one-time setup.
Okay.
Yes, can I just go on that? So I'm curious, do the people, do they have a tool to do it themselves, or do you have to do it every single time?
So we want to automate the complete system, where building a menu, running your own promotions, everything will be completely provided in an admin web app that we provide. We have built some part of it right now where we allow menu management, but those are the features that we want to keep rolling it out, because it's a SaaS software. There's nothing that needs to be downloaded, right? It's all on the cloud, and it will keep bringing in new features on top of the platform. Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about the traction that you've gotten since you've been here, and what types of clients you see using this?
Right. So that has been the best part of the story till now. So we, like I mentioned, I was here 7 months back, and we just presented the idea, and we got some feedback saying that there is a great opportunity. And I came here in September. In the last 2 months, we have been talking about this product. We are now part of the Tampa Bay Wave Accelerator, and we have been talking about this product in the downtown area in Tampa. And we are live at 2 places in the downtown area. The attic is one upstairs, and the next one is actually going live this week, called Moxie's, which is commercially live rollout, right? But we have seen a great amount of response from people like, so these are upcoming projects called the Food Hall on Franklin and the Armature Works, which are like multiple merchants together, and they want to roll out this service for the complete location with all their merchants put together, right? So those are the tractions that we have got till now. So it's worked pretty well. Yes.
How individualized can a customer make the order? You want something on the side, you don't want something here. When you showed the screen, it looked like it was just right off the menu that you had in there. Can you personalize what you're ordering.
Yeah, so in fact, Moxie's has been the most amazing client that way. Every sandwich that you order, you get to pick what kind of bread, you get to pick what kind of add-ons, you get to decide between free add-ons and paid add-ons, and everything comes up on the screen. So the moment you add, so this is not the best example for that purpose, but the moment you add an item, a customization of how do you want your sandwich comes up, right? So because the menus are always complicated and there is always personalization for every order that you're making, like I want it 100% vegetarian, I only want egg whites, we have integrated all of those things into the digital menu now.
Is the app free for people who want to use the app, or are they the ones paying for the? You said $4.99 and $99 a month.
Yeah, so it is a B2B2C model where we are charging the restaurant for this thing and the consumers do not have to pay anything. But I know where you're coming from. So there are opportunities of converting this thing into a new revenue stream, like a convenience fee at a place like a stadium, where a consumer might be happy to pay 10% for somebody to come and deliver the food at the seat, right? But though we haven't released those business models yet, we are expecting the restaurant to pay us on a monthly subscription. Yes.
I'm a little confused. You're working off of Wi-Fi. So if I go into a mall, I would hook onto Wi-Fi for that mall and maybe I would see food court was on there or there were specials or whatever. And then I want to go to a store. And if I want to go to that store and it also has this set up on Wi-Fi, do I switch to their Wi-Fi or do I switch to their Wi-Fi through your app? Or is your app an app or is it a website?
So it is a web app. Very good question. Okay, so point one, a mall is interested in releasing this service as a network across their complete property. So each store inside that could also have their own Wi-Fi, and that is not something that the mall will be able to control. In case of airports, they do control it, but in case of malls, they don't, right? So when you are at the mall and you connect to, say, West Shore Mall Wi-Fi, right? You could also connect to a different Wi-Fi which is for each particular store. But this service is being provided by the mall, and it is across the complete mall network, right? So you could switch to some other network because every time you look for Wi-Fi, there are at least 10 of them in the list. There are open networks, there are Bright House and whatever, and you can pick and choose from them, right? So this engagement will be enabled only on specific Wi-Fi access points that are enabled through our routers, and then the service is available. So there is some amount of consumer education that needs to be done in a physical world, where they have to be informed that you have to connect to this particular Wi-Fi, which is what I'm doing here, where it says connect to Torchfi Wi-Fi beta to try out the service, right? So that's just
so within your app, there's no handoff capability.
If it is on the same network, yes, we can do that. So if you're in a mall and you're moving from the ground floor to the first floor, and we are still in the mall network, I know that now you are in the first floor, and what you should see on your phone is different from what you should have seen in the ground floor. That can be done, right? Yes.
You say you're capturing users' data. Are you holding onto that? Are you selling that? What are you doing with that?
So yeah, that is the most important part of our actual business. So the data that we are able to capture is point one, we are able to capture a phone's profile, which is called a MAC address, which is unique for your phone, and every time this phone comes back, we exactly know this is the same phone that did that. And when you're placing an order, we expect you to enter a mobile number. So this phone profile is now getting mapped to a mobile number, which is the customer's profile, right? So your complete ordering data is being held against this particular mobile number. This complete data resides on our cloud, right? And is available for the brands to access, because effectively the data belongs to the brand. Right, and it's a white label service that we are providing to the brands. So for example, we are live at the Attic, and the Attic could look at all the phone numbers or all the people who have placed the order and download that data.
So afterwards, they can send a text to all the people that have been in their store.
Yes. So one of the key things.
Times that they want.
Yes. So one of the key things over here is our direct competitors are people who are providing free Wi-Fi services, where you connect out to the Wi-Fi and you have to do a Facebook Live or you have to post something on Twitter to access 2 hours of free internet, right? And what they are basically doing is capturing the consumer's data and allowing the brand to download this data so that they can run their email campaigns, they can do the SMS campaigns and bring back loyal customers. It's a very small part of the overall platform that we are supporting. We're not talking about only capturing data, but we are talking about using that data to engage with somebody at real time at a hyperlocal location. Right? That's how we are different. Yes.
Real quick, so I just tested it out. If I'm in a venue or something like that, and I log on to Wi-Fi, I'm doing it to do something on the internet. So I get your pop-up, and then I quickly cancel out because I'm going to do something else, post on Facebook or whatever it is.
Right.
And then 20 minutes later, I decide, man, I really would like a burger or something delivered to me. How do I get back to it?
So,
without logging out and logging back in, or is that the only way?
right, so there are two things over here. One is you are connecting onto the Wi-Fi because you want to access free internet. And one of the options that appears on the screen is you can click here to access free internet, and the screen will disappear and you will have access to internet through this Wi-Fi, right? So that's a basic feature of Wi-Fi. The moment you access internet, we send you a link in text saying that if you want to place an order, click on this link. So it still remains a web application that resides on your phone. If you haven't accessed internet and you have placed an order and 20 minutes later you want to place an order again, it's only about connecting back to the Wi-Fi and the screen will again pop up on the screen. The splash screen will appear on the phone. Right? That's how it works. Yes.
On your screen it says connect to Torchfi Wi-Fi waiter, so I'm assuming you're targeting restaurants primarily.
That's the lowest hanging fruit that we believe.
Okay.
That we
So this morning I went to McDonald's and I had their point of sale system and I ordered my breakfast off of their thing. What's the incentive? Are you competing with point of sale systems that exist in restaurants, or are you trying to supplant it, or are you trying to find those that don't have it?
So I'm not competing. In fact, I'm working closer and helping it. If we integrate with the point of sale system, we actually help the point of sale system upsell. Because now we are talking about not just the waiter taking an order from a handheld device or through the online channel, but also the Wi-Fi helping you take order. And this screen, this notification that we send is our app. But this app doesn't have to be there, and the notification can come directly onto the POS app, which is the POS that is running at the restaurant.
So would restaurant vendors look at your service then as an adjunct to their existing point of sale, or would they look at it as a competitor? Or an unnecessary?
So that way, actually, they're looking at us very similar to how they're looking at Uber Eats. Because the way Uber Eats work for them is an order comes in a separate tablet, and then you get that tablet and key in that order into the POS system. And that is how it would work with our system to start with. But if you integrate into that POS, then they do not have to manually key it, and it will directly go into the POS system. So they see is helping them sell better and a parallel system running along with their POS system. So there's no competition over there.
You answered my question.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Can you talk more? I know you focused a lot on restaurants initially to start, but can you go more in depth with what you see next outside of the restaurants?
Right. So the larger opportunities that we see is with larger real estate places. So it could be a mall, it could be a stadium. We went Amalie Arena, right, where it makes great sense for them to have ordering from the seat, and people will be able to happy to pay maybe a convenience fee to get the food delivered at the table, at the seat. But these are people who right now give away their digital real estate to people like Bright House, where you connect onto the Wi-Fi and a Bright House page would pop up onto the screen, right? And when we pitch our product, they are seeing this complete opportunity of owning their own digital real estate and using, they're okay to do the ordering service, but they are looking at the opportunity of brands being published over there, raffles being available, them able to sell their tickets for the future events and stuff, right? That's a larger opportunity that where we are saying that each real estate, be it a small restaurant or a large mall or a stadium or an airport, you can own the digital real estate also for that place, which will be enabled through our system, which is over Wi-Fi. Right? That's a larger opportunity. Yes.
But they're not exactly giving it for free to Bright House. Bright House is providing the internet.
Right.
So is there does it make sense to target the ISP as part of this conversation? You know, if it's some space that's currently paying for its internet to make sure that their customers have Wi-Fi, is there a way that you can go to the internet service provider, get some deal where they will provide that internet for free, and then split, the real estate on the screen with a Bright House and your ordering system?
Yes, so
something like that?
that's a dream situation, and that is how we think we will be able to scale when we are at a much larger place. For Bright House to even look at us, right? But the way we are doing it in a smaller place right now is if you have a Bright House enabled solution, the moment you click onto this access free internet link, we forward you to the Bright House page. So it goes to the network, and Bright House is not losing on the revenue that they would have generated by selling you 30 minutes of internet, right? So we are becoming like a layer in between what Bright House already provides, and this layer is a new real estate for the retailers or for that location, right? So Bright House could start selling our solution, saying that we will provide you a customized captive portal, and we will also provide the internet service, where revenue generation is new and one, right?
Makes a ton of sense.
Yeah. Yes.
I think it's a great idea, and I'm glad that it's not another app to download.
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah, but I have a suggestion, just to piggyback a little bit on Sean. Why don't you offer, on SurveyMonkey, and I'll give you $2 off your lunch if you fill out the survey, so they can, help give you a discount. I do something while I'm waiting, and you make a little bit, and everybody wins.
Right. So, is that an opportunity? Yes. Can we do it? Absolutely. But again, looking at the percentage of people. Today, the number of people who walk in, say 100 people walking into a restaurant, maybe 10 of them connect onto the Wi-Fi because they want to access free internet. Maybe 20 of them would connect because they wanted $2 off. But all 100 of them are trying to place an order. Right? So the engagement that we want to bring in is a solution that helps each and every customer, so that the scope of the base of people that we can target is as close as we can get to 100%. Mm-hmm. So once we get to that, that means all people can place an order, and it's just adding more options. So there could be one more option saying that give us a feedback and get $2 off from your offer, right? And it's enabled on the same platform. But the first service we wanted to bring is what everybody wants in a restaurant, place an order, right? So that's the path that we have taken.
Great.
Yes.
So you have Torchfi on everything, right? Is there a way to white label this?
So this is actually a completely white label solution, places where we are live, where the name Torchfi doesn't appear on the access point, and it is your brand. So Puma Social Club is a brand, which is a restaurant somewhere that we have gone live, right? It's in India. But the only thing that we actually have our brand is this mention where it says powered by Torchfi, right? Otherwise, it's a completely white label solution. Somebody in the back has. Yeah.
So talk a little bit more about your loyalty program. So versus having your app and you go to Panera or somewhere there. So would you only be able to access or see where you are in terms of my free beer or while I'm there in the vicinity, or how would I track that to other restaurants in a similar brand, or would it be specific location wise?
So our complete engagement is specific to the location or to the brand. So if you're at an Outback, our system would work across every Outback, right? But if you're 4 blocks away from an Outback and you want to check if you have loyalty points, you go to their website to do that, right? Or you download their app to do that. We are talking about enabling an engagement while you are there in the location. That is where the digital engagement has not worked till now. So I don't know, I'm just adding a little more to the question.
Yeah, sure.
So look at brands. Today you have a Target app, you have a Walmart app, you have apps for every brand. And what they're trying to do is bring in an in-store engagement using iBeacons and app. So there is one dependency. First you have to download an app. Second dependency, you have to have Bluetooth switched on, only then there is an engagement. But people are trying to bring in this engagement. They are doing that using the wrong technology. We are saying that we are replacing that, and we are bringing a solution that will allow you to engage with 100% of the people who walk in, because everybody is carrying a smartphone. So they do not have to download an app and stuff, right? Coming back to your question of loyalty program, it's one of the way you're trying to engage. Think about it. You want to know how much loyalty program points you have when you're walking into a place, not when you're sitting in your living room most of the time. right? Because you're at Outback, can I order the next thing free, right? And you can connect onto the Wi-Fi and know do you have it or not, right? So that's the opportunity that we are running after. Yes.
Are there any statistics that show the percent of people that walk into restaurants and actually use the Wi-Fi?
Unfortunately, we do not have an accurate number, but when we started doing this product, the first thing that we did was we started talking to the waiters who usually hand out the password to you, right? Asking them how many people actually ask for the password. And what we know is that it's a significant percentage, right? The moment you say Wi-Fi, they would hand out a password or they will say enter so and whatever, right? But we do not have an accurate number on it because that kind of data is owned by somebody like a Bright House, right? And that's not open data. We will be able to come up with a more open data on this thing.
So are you going to plan on advertising as well at the physical location so people know that this is available, or is it something you're just going to assume people are going to automatically go and check for Wi-Fi?
So we are currently dependent on the restaurant that they will promote this thing because they are helping improve their operations and improve their service. And so the place that we're live at has got table tent cards in every table which says you can connect onto the Wi-Fi to place an order, right? We are expecting them to do that. But effectively, as this thing grows, and because it is Torchfi branded or Torchfi powered, you could just put a label on the door which says this place supports Torchfi, and you will know what service you can expect when you connect onto this thing. So it will become a consumer brand at some point. Right? Yeah.
So, three quick questions. First, so I was in a restaurant recently that pretty much the waiting service had been supplanted by iPads at the tables where you order everything. The idea here is that a restaurant can have that system in place and not need to put the iPad to rely on the customers to use their own smart devices. Is that a possible selling point?
It is the best selling point that we're using, and one point that we add to it is that when you go and sit, the iPad doesn't know who you are. But when you connect from your phone, we exactly know who you are, and we can do the personalization that we're talking about.
Perfect. Second, are you at all providing the physical routers for people?
So
do you have some deal of scale with that?
Right. So right now we provide the router for free. We are not charging. It's inclusive in the one-time setup to some extent because we are doing the digital menu. We are providing the router. We are providing a tablet for the POS app and stuff. But we have just started working on the next version where if it is a larger location where you already have a Wi-Fi set up throughout the whole location, you do not have to replace the routers at each of this. We will plug in one box into the network and all the Wi-Fi access points can be enabled from that. So we are talking about one box no matter how big the place is.
And then third question is, what can we as a community do to help you grow this business?
Right. So the most important question I would say. So we have been talking to people for the past 8 to 9 weeks now, and we have got our first early adopter, first paid customer who is going live with the service. But what we immediately need is we need to be live in 5 places, right? And our focus has been, because our office is in Tampa downtown, our focus has been that area, and we want to get some traction here in St. Pete as well. So if you think you know people and people know people who can connect us to businesses who would be interested in trying this out and being early adopters of our service, that's the first thing that we are looking for. And the second thing that we are looking for is also multiple ways of support. So we are still very early on. We have just incorporated in the US, but we would want to start raising money and start connecting to investors and stuff. So if you think people might be, or angel investors might be interested in this space, I would like to connect with them.
Thank you very much. Now for a special presentation during the middle portion. It's our old friend JJ.
There's no special presentation. I just want to thank the community for participating. Tech Garage and Greenhouse a couple years ago brought when we got to St. Pete. It was a little bit hoping that the work that you guys, the community, everything that's been done has been awesome. I'm sorry you wouldn't have to step down, but this group is one of the best 1 million cups in the country. Continues to be strong, continues to have great entrepreneurs, and it's all us in partnership. And we only hope the country does so well following the new president, right? All everybody together trying to make it work. So thank you for that. The second thing I want to say is Tech Talk next Tuesday is a little different. It's going to take place at 10 Garage instead of our typical location at Microsoft in Tampa. We're going to have all of our companies, they're going to have a table, they're going to talk about what they're doing, they're going to be part of a group to participate and to discuss the different options they've got. We have some investors there, some seed capital people, some venture capital people, community people. So a little bit different format next Tuesday. We'd like everybody to come on out, participate, see what we've got going on down there. And thanks to the greenhouse and everybody for making this work. See you later.
Thank you, JJ. You know, to JJ's first point, when we started Million Cups, we were the 19th city in the country to start this program. They just announced last week they're now Million Cups in 100 cities across the country. So when you're up here presenting, it is your passport to present at all 99 other of those countries. Or countries. 1 Million Cups does seem like a couple different countries. But keep that in mind, you know, as you guys are expanding Torchfi, that market is out there. You can get in front of an audience of people like this, 99 other places across the country. We do have a couple extra events going on as well. Startup Weekend Tampa is going on over this weekend across the bridge. Ed Culture is coming up at the end of next week. You've seen a presentation about them. They're doing some really cool things right here in downtown St. Pete. In fact, on the 17th, there is an awesome panel discussion at the Station House featuring me. So if you just can't get enough of this, please come out and check that out. And then Small Business Saturday, coming up the Saturday after Thanksgiving. Please buy your Christmas gifts at a small local business. So, without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Kabinger, which I love saying.
Thank you. So, good morning. My name is Jeremy Ramos, and I'm going to be talking to you about building community through gifting. So, communities are made up of the consumers, the businesses, and the organizations that are all in a common geographic area. And at Kabinger, we have built a system and a business model where those people in the community can now work together collaboratively through gifting to build a stronger community. So I think all of you probably remember the last time that you received or gave a gift and how that felt. So with our product, we found a way to harness that, and it's built through this gifting cycle. So everyone probably cares about something. There's a cause or a local institution or organization that you care about and support. Maybe it's a local food bank, maybe it's the school PTA, maybe you participate in your children's sports team, or you run a charity for your church. So Kabinger provides a way where the local consumers, residents in the community can help support those institutions. And that's the beginning of this gifting cycle. Step 2 of the gifting cycle now brings in the local businesses. And the way that we do it with Kabinger is that we allow the businesses to reward the customers that walk into their business through a gift of points. Those points can be equated similar to a rewards program or loyalty program. The difference is that with the Kabinger system, those are globalized points that you can use or you can collect from all of the different businesses in your community. And then the cycle continues. So through the magic of our app and our system, a local resident, perhaps it's a local mom, Jenny, she's taking her kids out to the local pizza shop on a weekly basis, and through those purchases, she's collecting points. After doing that on average 2 to 3 times a week, maybe it's a car wash, maybe it's the nail salon, she's collected enough points to now make a contribution to the school. Right? And those points now, the school can convert that donation into books, a playground, etc. And then the cycle continues. So with the Kabinger system, everyone that cares about something has an ability through their shopping behavior in the local community to collect points that they can now use for donations to those local organizations, creating a positive feedback, and in the end, a stronger local commerce and local community. Everybody wins. So why does this work? As I said at the beginning, people love to give and receive gifts, and we built that into our product, into the design of our system. I think everyone that's ever used the product that made them feel good remembers that. You know, whether it's the texture of the product, whether it's the way that, you know, the product engages you through its dialogues, etc. We built that right at the core of the Kabinger system. So Kabinger is a rewards program. As I said earlier, it's not limited to a single relationship between one business and their customers. So unlike other loyalty programs or even programs run by airlines, etc., it's globalized. So as you do business with the local commerce, you can collect these points, and over time, the points can be traded in for donations to the local institutions. You're able to also declare what particular organization you want to support. So we enable many relationships between many businesses, many customers, and many institutions, which is a much more powerful model. So what's in it for the local business? Our product allows them to hyper-target the local consumers with very focused promotion. They can support the local, they can bring in local traffic. They have a way to support the local community, and in the end, everybody wins because the local commerce is supporting each other. So behind the scenes, we work as a commission. That commission is charged to the business